Welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Great, great. All right, so let's start with you're receiving more leads for your 15-minute appointments. Where are they coming from?
Mainly from referrals. I joined BNI and I got referrals from there and another on LinkedIn, that a financial planner that's been sending me some referrals as well. And I'm always worried about getting more referrals, and now I'm getting them. So um, it's a good problem to have. But I had one last night that just gave me pause, and I don't feel like it went well. And it's not that they've not engaged, but I'm kind of ruminating about it in my mind about how it went.
Okay, great. Well,
So,
let's talk about how it went. What do you feel that didn't go well?
so I feel like it was a husband and wife, and they're both non-U.S. citizens, and that's a lot of what I'm trying to build my practice around, and a little bit
Mm,
more complicated situation. And I think it was going okay, but they're like, "Well, how much experience do you have in this?" And I don't have a lot. I mean, I've got overseas clients that I've worked with and non-U.S. citizens, but that whole imposter syndrome kind of kicked
uh,
in,
yeah,
and in my mind, I was like, "Oh my God, they've just found me out."
yeah,
And and so here I am. And so, I answered him that I was a member of this group. It's a couple of attorneys and 100 attorneys, and any answers that come up or questions that come up, I don't have answers. I'm sure I can find them out. I
yeah.
co-counsel with this international tax attorney with 40 years experience, and I think I gave them a good answer, but I didn't close it in that. I said, okay, let's go ahead and set up a time to meet, you know.
You did not.
So I didn't. So that's where we're at.
I see. Okay, so they kind of poked I'll say they poked at your imposter syndrome.
Yes.
and
Yes.
and in the face of that poke, you collapsed.
I,
And
yes.
yeah, and I think that's important. I think it's really important that we call things as they are,
Yeah.
um and that as a result, you can learn from this experience about how the next time that happens, you can bring dignity, right? So
Hmm.
so we're always in this balance between humility and dignity. And too much humility results in imposter syndrome, and too much dignity
Okay.
results in like arrogance. So we don't want you to be collapsing, and we don't want you to be posturing. So a lot of
Yeah.
times when people have an insecurity, they'll posture, right? So
Mm.
posturing is the opposite of collapse. So what
Okay.
we're looking for here is that balance between collapse and posture, where you're just actually being with what's true. And the truth is, what is the truth about your experience with planning for non-US citizens? What is true? It sounds like you said what was true, which is
Yeah.
I'm not
I
going to
said
have all the
I
answers, but I'll get them if needed.
yeah, exactly. And I have had non-US citizen clients. That's
Hmm.
true. But
Hmm.
not, I think my interpretation of that question is, it's kind of a question behind the question, which is, do you really have experience in this, and how much is it?
Hmm.
Right?
Well, okay, so that is what they asked, right?
Right. Yeah.
So then what do you think is what do you think that they actually care about there? Do they care about your experience, or what do they really care about there?
No, I think they care that, they're in the US, they've been here for a number of years, they have 4 kids, and they want to make sure somebody that, let's be honest, is a stranger that they're telling this all to doesn't screw up. And I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so a
I
couple
would I
things.
would be the same way, you know.
Right. Yeah, so maybe next time you say something like that.
Hmm. Okay.
You say, that
Oh, okay.
question really makes sense because, you want to make sure that you're working with somebody that's going to be able to take care of your family if something happens to you. And how long have you been in practice?
I joined in August. I had not practiced before that, and then I really started this in January.
Okay,
So about
so
5 months.
yeah, so you are pretty new.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, you are pretty new. And so I think that in that case, it would really be about saying, I am a newer attorney in this practice area, and
Okay.
so it makes sense to me that you would be asking about my experience, and here's how I address that to make sure that I am absolutely able to serve you, even though your situation is a bit more complex.
Okay. No, that's very elegant. Thank you.